Do you feel like there's never enough time to create content for your business? You're struggling with so many responsibilities, and content creation can just feel like one more thing on your plate. But what if I told you there are some practical ways to streamline the process, save time, and still produce high quality videos? In this conversation, I'll share my best time-saving hacks for busy entrepreneurs so you can focus on running your business while staying consistent with your content. Let's get into it. Hello, my name is Jean-Marc and welcome to The Creator's Edge. If you're looking to level up your content game, you're in the right place. On this channel, we dive deep into proven strategies, cutting-edge tools, and step-by-step methods for creating content that stands out and drives real business results. Whether you're a seasoned creator or just starting out, we'll help you sharpen your edge and master the art of creation. Today, we're talking about a few ways you can produce high-quality content for your brand or business. But first, we have to define what content is. What exactly is content? And what does it mean for a business or brand? Okay? The definition is pretty simple, but it's sometimes missed. Sometimes we think it's one thing when it's really another thing. Content is the strategic communication that businesses and brands use to engage, educate, and influence their audience. Boom. See, it goes beyond just words, images, or videos. Content is the bridge that connects a brand's vision to its customers' needs or to your audience's needs. It's how businesses tell their story, how they establish authority, and build trust, all while driving action. Whether through social media, blogs, videos, podcasts, or advertisements, content serves as the foundation of your brand's digital presence. It's not just about selling. It's about creating a meaningful conversation and solving a problem and adding value. That's kind of important, right? A meaningful conversation, you're solving problems, and you're adding value. See, in today's competitive landscape, content isn't optional. If you want to play, you got to create. It's the currency that connects and turns casual followers into loyal customers. But here's the challenge for you. How can you consistently pump out quality content without spending a ton of money or a ton of time on the content and sacrificing your business? That's the rub. How can the smaller guys, how can those of us who don't have a marketing budget do that, right? How can we produce high quality? Well, first, we have to kind of define what high quality content is. There are four components, of what makes high quality content. The first is that it's value-driven content, okay? High-quality content solves a specific problem. You're providing immediate, actionable value to your audience or your viewer. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a step-by-step method. It can also be a mindset or a unique insight. Essentially, you want people who are watching your content to walk away with something that they can apply to their life or business in that moment, okay? The second thing about high quality content is that it has a strategic structure. High quality content follows a clear, logical structure with a compelling hook, well-organized main talking points, and a strong call to action that guides viewers towards their next steps. The third aspect of high quality content is that it's professional. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to get a bunch of crazy lights and different camera angles and things like that. It helps, but having a professional production just really means that your video is clear, your audio is clear, and that your scenes are well lit, right? Now, you don't need to have all kinds of, bullet points and flashing lights and all these things. Those things definitely help. But what you don't want is anything that's distracting to your viewer. And sometimes being in a loud environment or having a bunch of crazy cars or a bunch of crazy things around you can take away from the high quality piece of content you're creating. And fourth and last is high quality content is genuine, right? You want to be yourself. Sure, you can use a teleprompter. Sure, you can use these things that keep you on your points, but you want to make sure that you are you and that you're not being somebody you're not. Yeah, that sounds kind of weird. You want to make sure that you're yourself and that you're not trying to be someone you're not, okay? This is what I define high quality content as, just those four things: that it's value driven, that it has a strategic structure, that it's professionally produced, and that it's authentic and has authentic engagement, okay? And so now that you understand what content is and what I mean by high quality content, How can we make this happen for our business? What are some tips and strategies that you can use as a business owner to make this easier for you? Oftentimes we just have so many plates we're spinning in between content, in between our families, in between our business, in between actually fulfilling our business, in between delegating. There's just so many hats that you wear as a creator and as a business owner. What are some things that we can do to make our lives a little bit easier? Well, I'm going to give you some tips and strategies that can help.
Are you struggling to come up with content ideas, feeling overwhelmed by where to start? You're not alone. Most entrepreneurs waste time guessing what to post instead of following a clear strategy. That's why I created the Simple Content Creation Framework, an easy to follow process that helps you generate endless content ideas and build a strategy that works for your business. By the end of this framework, you'll have a personalized content plan that makes creating videos, posts, and articles effortless. No more staring at a blank screen, just a simple, repeatable system. If you're ready for it, grab the framework now. Click the link in the description and start creating content with confidence. Now let's get back to the conversation.
So now that you understand what content is and what I mean by high quality content, how can you make this happen for yourself? How can you create content without having to sacrifice loads of time and loads of energy into growing your following or building your brand? Well, let's get into the first point. The first strategy is to batch create your content. Batch creation. This is very powerful, and it allows you to kind of create a little bit of lead time so that you have more and more time in between these spurts of content creation. And this can literally happen in 4 days. It can happen in 3 days. But let's say, for the sake of example, you have 3 to 4 days to batch create some content. And with this, you want to focus on creating 2 to 3 pieces of content, high quality content, right? So let's say day one, you'll spend your time scripting and planning. Maybe you want to plan a specific location. Maybe you want to script a specific pain point, a specific problem that you want to solve. That's going to be very important because you really want to get hyper focused on the pain points of your audience, and you want to solve those pain points in each piece of content. That's what's going to give you the best high quality piece of content with your time. And so on that first day, it's really about planning and scripting. Now, day 2 is your filming day. So you've already planned it. You've already spent a couple of hours making sure you know what you're going to do. And so day 2, you go on location. Maybe you set up a light, or maybe you walk into your studio and you just sit down, push record, and go for it. Whether you're reading from a script, like I am, I do my intros from a script, or whether you're a seat in the pants type of creator that just creates, from the top of your head. Kudos to you if you do that. Whatever it is, spend about 3 hours just recording your piece of content. And personally, I recommend you do long form content, anything from between 15 to 30 minutes. Obviously, depending on what you're talking about. Some subjects don't need 30 minutes, but take your time to knock out those pieces of content within that day. When you're done with day 2, you don't need to edit. Just save your videos, give yourself a break there, and wait till the next day to edit. And so the next day, day 3 or 4, is when you would just edit in batches. And you can do it yourself. I definitely recommend you do it yourself when you're starting out. But if you have the income, hire an editor, outsource it, early on. And that's one of the points later on to make your life a little bit easier. But, outsource it when you get to that point. If you're just starting out, do the first couple of videos yourself. You really want to get a picture or an idea of how you like your content. You don't want an editor making every decision for you. You want to be able to articulate how you want to come across in your videos, and having a hand in what it looks like on the front end is a great way to do that. And so you don't really need to do all of the color grading. You don't need to do all of that craziness. Just find the best settings on your camera. And when you're done recording and you're ready to edit, I want you to think about these 4 questions, okay? I want you to think, is my audio clear, right? Is my video well lit? Are the things I'm saying clear? Like the points I'm making, are they clear? And am I solving the problems for my audience? Those 4 questions are really what's going to determine whether or not your content is high quality. Making sure that those 4 questions are answered correctly is what's going to make sure your content is high quality. Now, the next tip is to automate everything. The more you can automate, the better. Once you finish with batch creation, you'll have these 2 to 4 pieces of content that's just ready to go. They're ready to for the world to see. And so the temptation is to just release them all at once, or just work on releasing one of them at a time, and scheduling yourself to sit down and do the releases one after another. But I want you to know there's an easier way. There's a better way that can really make your life super easy. And again, it's going to create this snowball effect that if you automate and you schedule out releases, it's going to build this snowball effect that gives you more lead time when it comes to releasing content, or being able to release content. This is a major cheat code for busy entrepreneurs. Automating repetitive tasks will really make your life easy. And so there's tools you can use. There's tools like Canva to make templates for your intro and outro videos, or for Instagram, for Facebook, things like that. And you can use tools like Metricool or Later for auto posting or scheduled posting. That's going to be huge. It's super important. Use auto email tools like SendFox and ConvertKit, and whatever you have or whatever works for you in your business. Use these tools to just automatically share, automatically post your content. And so I know for a tool like Metricool, you can go in there and schedule when you want things to post on Insta, when you want things to post on Facebook, when you want things to post on YouTube. And really, I recommend doing one long form piece of content a week, and then taking that and using a tool like Opus Cuts to create short form cuts that you can then schedule out on these Metricool and Later platforms, so that you're part of the daily conversation, right? Keep in mind, you're fighting against, a river of marketing that people get inundated with on a daily basis. But if you can consistently produce high quality pieces of content and schedule it out so that every day you're part of the conversation, you're going to be building your influence more and more. So, let's say this is what it could look like. Let's say you created 4 16-minute long videos in one afternoon, right? If you use a tool like Opus Cuts, you can take one of those 16-minute videos and create 9 short form clips that you're going to put on a drip release every day of the week. Maybe you do, or maybe you do three short form pieces of content 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And it's that one video that you're pointing people to. And so what's going to happen, it's going to keep building momentum over time. Let's say you're doing this 3, 4, 5, 6 months. You're going to have a whole mechanism, a whole library, a plethora that's pointing to content of you solving a specific problem. And so that's really the value of building it this way, is over time, not only are you getting more for the time that you're putting in, but you're actually solving the problems that your people need to be solved. You have so much social proof because you're on these platforms and your videos are getting traction the more consistent you are with this. Now, even though this sounds like it's relatively simple and easy, it can be a lot to start out. You're juggling a lot. You got a lot going on. How do you get to this point producing high quality content that doesn't take all of your life energy away, and you're not stuck trying to figure out how to do this step by step? If that's you, here's what I recommend. I have some tips for you if you're just starting out and you're just getting into it, okay? To set realistic goals, okay? Don't feel like you have to go out and conquer the world. You're already doing that. Start small. Start with one video. Plan out one video, right? Build the mechanism with that video, because you're going to have to create your accounts on these platforms, and that in itself can take a whole day. Imagine, I know I just recommended these 6 different platforms to you that you're going to have to sign in with Google and upload your stuff and then do a bunch of things on. It's going to take time. You don't want to be doing that with 4 pieces of content all at once. Take your time. Start with one, okay? Plan it out. You want to have quality over quantity, and it's going to take time to build it, but big things have small beginnings, and starting small is sometimes even more valuable than trying to do the most in one sitting, and you'll probably go further if you do small increments over time. Okay, as you're doing this, as you're starting out and you're starting small, you want to be able to create almost like a repeatable workflow. Take a bird's eye view of your whole process and break it down into sections, right? Break it down into, what it looks like when I'm planning, when I'm creating an idea. What do I do? What are some of the steps I need to do every time I record? What are some of the programs that I use when I edit, and schedule and publish? What do I do post publishing? What do I do after I upload the video and it's everywhere? There's levels to this. And, with content, it's almost like, there's a lot of creators out there that have figured it out, but really all they figured out is what works best for them and what they're trying to accomplish. And again, you want to be able to have almost like your own personal checklist, your own personal method of creating your content. So use tools like Trello, or I love Notion. I use Notion a lot to plan out my scripts and to kind of get a bird's eye view of what I'm going to talk about and the problem I'm going to solve and how I want to create my videos. So use tools like those to kind of schedule out and plan out your creative process. That way it almost becomes an SOP for you. It almost becomes a standard operating procedure of how you create content. And the beauty of that really gets accentuated later on. It takes the guesswork out and it makes it a little bit more of a scheduled, regimented thing. So highly recommend that you set a very low realistic goal and that you really create your own specific workflow. Some people like to record in their car. I know I follow YouTubers who every week they're uploading a video and it's literally them sitting in a car, but it's a high quality piece of content because they have a very good hook. Their titles and thumbnails are on point and they're solving a specific problem for what their niche or vertical is. So again, create a workflow, a system, a vibe, a look, a thing that's just for you, and get that to a point where you can have almost like a checklist of a way to do this. Yeah, I would focus on those two things. And if you're just starting out, I also want to encourage you to focus on evergreen content. Focus on creating content that is going to still be relevant 2, 3, 4 years from now. Right? There's still videos. There's videos from 6 years ago that I reference every now and again because it has to do with a specific piece of gear or a specific camera or a specific method or a specific software that hasn't been updated or changed that I still need to use. And so, tutorial videos, how-to videos, mindset videos, method videos. I can't tell you how many, 4 or 5-year-old weight loss videos are still getting hits today, because that creator was very specific with the problem they were going to solve. And they focused on creating a whole video series on evergreen content. So that's really huge if you're just starting out. Just kind of like those 3 points I just said. Set realistic goals, create a repeatable workflow, and focus on content that's evergreen. And listen, if you're struggling, if you're just starting out and you're struggling to come up with some evergreen pieces of content, check out the link in the description below. I'd love to share with you my list of 130 evergreen content ideas you can use in your business today. Now, once you start to get into a flow of content creation, you can start thinking about outsourcing and delegating tasks. Okay, now outsourcing is going to be probably the best thing for you to do once you have that checklist, once you know your creative process, once you can articulate that to an editor or a scheduler or a virtual assistant, then that's when you want to start looking out for that route of things. That's when you want to start looking for an individual or a program or someone to take over the tasks that take too much time from you, but still need to be done. And so, yeah, once you know your workflow, you can outsource the parts of it that you don't want to work on, the parts of it that are very time consuming. Maybe you want to hire a freelancer or a virtual assistant to take over editing so that you can focus more on creating videos. So let's say, I was watching a creator the other day and she was mentioning how she hired an editor And what that did for her and how it helped her channel blow up was now she was able to produce double the amount of videos because she was editing some and her editor was editing others. It allowed her to create more content in the same amount of time just by duplicating herself. And so that's really all you're doing when you're hiring out. And as a business owner or someone that's in business, you understand the power of duplicating yourself, right? Once you're able to kind of duplicate yourself in that way, you're able to almost double your output, and at some point it becomes multiplication and not addition, right? You're almost able to times X your output just by hiring one or two editors, one or two freelancers to kind of give you back the time so you can be even more creative with ideation and creating content and videos. So that's my last point. There's so many things and so many ways you can go when it comes to content creation. And it's really just this ocean of information that's coming at you every day. But as a business owner, you really want to focus on what's going to move my business forward. And especially with content that's having high quality content that's focused on solving problems. But what you want to do is you want to wrap that around a strategy. You want to wrap that around a content creation system that gives you more time, more energy, more money out of it than you're putting into it. You want to be able to create more content, more high quality content, because that's going to make you more visible, which in turn is going to make you solve more problems for more people, which makes you more of an influencer, more of a thought leader in your space, which is going to eventually translate to more business, more money, more time. And so the more valuable you can become in the market through content, the more you're going to get back from your efforts. Remember, creating high quality content doesn't have to consume all of your time and energy. By implementing some of these strategies, from batch content creation to automation and leveraging AI and outsourcing strategies and talent, you can build a sustainable content creation system that works for your business. The key, though, is to work smarter, not harder. Whether you're starting out with the pre-made templates in Canva or you're repurposing content, right? Each of these strategies are designed to help you maintain consistency while preserving your most valuable asset, your time. So, to wrap it up, start small, focus on quality over quantity, and remember that it's better to create fewer pieces of excellent, high-quality content than to overwhelm yourself trying to do it all. The journey is a marathon, not a sprint. And with these strategies in your toolkit, you're now equipped to create impactful content efficiently and sustainably. Leave me a comment. Let me know what parts are challenging for you as a content creator. Hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss anything that I have coming out. I'm super excited about what's coming forward. I hope that you found something valuable in this video. Thanks again for watching. Here's to making content that stands out. I'll see you in the next one. Grace and peace. Hey, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw and you got some value out of it, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Liking the video lets the algorithm know that I did a good job, and subscribing makes it so that you don't miss any new videos that I drop. And I got some really great ideas and really great videos coming your way. Also, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave me a message below. I read all of them, and I'd love to respond to and help you if I can. If you want to grab that list of over 100 evergreen content ideas, the link is also in the description below. Check that out. I think you'll find some value with that as well. Thanks for watching.